So Tuesday the 19th of May, and this is your phonics lesson, second one of the week. So I gave you 3 new words to do yesterday, and they all had the word any in it. So the words are any, many, and anyone. See if you can spell those before I put them on the board. So any, many, and anyone. Okay, so I'm going to put them on the board, see if you got them correct today. So any, many, and anyone. There you go, you'll notice again they've all got the any in them. Any, many, anyone. Okay, moving on. So today we are doing something a little bit different, but it links to the learning we did last week. So we are moving on to superlatives. See if you can say that word, superlative. There's 4 syllables in there. Superlative. Yeah, 4 syllables. And this links a little bit to last week because we did comparatives last week. So a comparative and a superlative, they're kind of similar, but I'll show you what the difference is. So let's get a clean board. And if I give you the word big, that's the root word and it doesn't have any suffixes on it. So I can put up here, just remember, root word. Okay, then last week we did comparatives. And when we had a comparative, we had to add ER onto the end of the word. Now this time we're moving on to superlatives. So we have to add EST. EST. So I have the word big. Now last week I turned it into bigger. And you'll see I had to do the VC double me rule, so that's quite good to know. VC double me. And then today we're going to go a little bit further. So it's not going to be big, it's not going to be bigger, but it's going to be the biggest. So we use EST on the end of a superlative adjective when it is the most of something. So the biggest country in the world, or the biggest TV, or it could be the tallest, or the longest, or the shortest, but it's got to be the most of that thing. Okay, so I'm going to give you some more examples, and I'm going to put them in my root word column. You can do the same if you wanted to. So we have fat, flat, thin, hot, sad, and wet. Okay? Might not be able to see those, but hopefully you can. So big turned into bigger last week, but this week we're doing the most, so it's big, biggest. Okay? So you can just jump straight from the root word to the suffix on the end, EST, or you can include your column from last week if you want to practice it again. So do it to fat, flat, thin, hot, sad, and wet. Okay, see if you can add the EST. If you want to pause the video, you can, and then I'm going to get on with mine. So fat turns into fattest. Flat turns into flattest. And you'll notice that I'm doing VC double me. Now that word doesn't look right, but I think it's just because I've never used the word before in my writing. Next one, thin, thinnest. Hot, hottest. Hopefully it'll get hotter this year. Sad, saddest. And wet, wettest. I know there's lots of countries that get a lot of rain. Some of those words don't look right to me, but it's just because I haven't written these words down in a while, so they just look a bit different, but that's just how we do it. So we do VC double me, and just like we did with biggest, all of these are correct. Okay, so now we get to turn one of them into a sentence. Now I'm going to pick my first one, biggest, and I'm going to put it into a sentence that says, Asia is the biggest continent in the world. Okay, Asia is the biggest continent in the world. Okay, I need to give myself some space though. Okay, capital letter, Asia is the, then I'm going to use my word biggest there with my EST, biggest. Now continent is a bigger word, I've got to break it up into the syllables in order to spell it. Continent in the world. There you go, and a full stop at the end. So that's my sentence. Asia is the biggest continent in the world, and you can see I've done VC double me, and I've made it the most, so it's got EST on the end. If you want to give it a try, and have a lovely day.